religion. See that that's the big difference. Meaning it was a religion that had a structure that led the initiates step by step to the realization of a specific goal. You see that? Okay, with accountability along the way and things of that nature. And so therefore the Egyptologists were not able to recognize that Egypt had a religion. I mean, that was the beginning of that was the smallest part of the problems. The biggest part was that they could not think the way the ancient Egyptians, these African people, had a different way of thinking about life, about themselves, and it's a different way of thinking. So, so somebody thinks a total alien way to you, you're not going to understand what they are saying. So that was also the biggest part of the problem. Yeah, it's all fine. So what did the initiation do for the ancient Egyptians? Okay. When we look at ancient Egypt, we see a marvelous society that goes back to about 3,500 BC. Okay? Meaning around 3,500 BC to about 1,000 years later, 2,500 BC or so, we find that the ancient Egyptian civilization had already accomplished things in all areas of arts and science and philosophy and religion and mathematics, okay, that, has in many ways still yet surpassed many nations today. And it wouldn't be until maybe 2,000 to 3,000 years after the ancient Egyptians, came into being and had been great, that the civilization that we know today, the Christians, the Jews, the Islam, the Buddhists, they came into being, really. They began to write their books and their civilization about 600 BC or so, 1,000 BC. So what we're looking at is a civilization that is much older than all the civilizations and achieved greatness before most of the other civilizations were even around. I'm not trying to say that, they were the first, or that. I'm just trying to say that they didn't have anybody, no other cultures that they could borrow from or to guide them. They had to create. They had to come up with the knowledge themselves of architecture and medicine and mathematics and, astronomy and, geography and geometry. They had to come up with that thing themselves. There was nobody else that they could borrow from. Other cultures, we can point to how that they got it from these people and from those peoples, and, they learned from these other people and so on. There's nobody that we can go to say that ancient Egypt, acquired this information from. You see that? Because they are the oldest civilization on record. You see that? I'm talking facts. You can go tomorrow to any library, look this up, get the date line, and you will know that what I'm saying is the truth. Okay? So what does Egypt owe its ability to create and invent all of these things? And it had an initiation system that developed the best in man. You see that? Okay? The people were able to, the initiation system, perfected your health. Okay? The initiation system makes you happy, creates happiness, because happiness is not something that can come from getting things or accomplishing things. You've got to have happiness first. The initiation process makes you happy. That's one of the first goals of initiation is to find happiness. Okay, meaning a state of peace and joy. Because peace, is healing and joy is nourishing. You see that? If you can maintain your peace and your joy through all events, all trials and, challenges in life, then you will preserve your health, your mental abilities. You see, and actually you need to be challenged in order to develop your mental skills, right? You understand that, right? That's why they challenge you in school. You see that? Okay, that's why life is challenging. It's this challenge that propels people to be creative, to be inventive, or whatever. But challenge only develops you and evolves you if you respond with peace and joy to challenge. And that is one of the major goals, you see that, of initiation, to enable the initiate to be peaceful and happy no matter what the challenge is. So you can see a great need for that in the world, can you? In your relationship, your career, your job, whatever it is that you're doing, wherever you are, life is going to challenge you. You see that? And one of the most important goal of initiation is to make you happy. Happiness is what the Hindu gurus were trying to explain to you with the word nirvana. They don't have people think differently. So the word nirvana, the semiology of the word and the semantical structure of the word is different from the Anglo-Saxon happiness or the Latin felicitas or contento. But it's the same spiritual state. You see that? Nirvana is peace and joy, and they broke them into sat, chit, and ananda. Sat is stability, chit is of the mind, the mind and the life force, chit, and ananda is bliss, is the inner happiness or the enjoyment of peace in the midst of challenges. Okay, so when you begin to work with Metu Volume 4, Metu Volume 4 will give you a series of exercises to do between February and the winter solstice in December every year. You see that? And when you finish the first year, or it might take you 1 year or 2 or 3 years, it depends on you. Some people can do this in 1 year. Okay, I've been teaching this now since this subject matters for 37 and a half years. Okay, and so it's going to take a while, but some people could do this in 1 year, especially now that I have given the best guide I can give for the process. You see that is, when you can do something yourself is one thing, and to prepare so that other people can do it is a different thing, especially when you want to prepare it so that lots of people can do it. People from different walks of life and different cultural backgrounds, it becomes a major challenge, but we're finally here. You see that? So one of the first accomplishments that you will have in your initiation is that you will cultivate the ability to be peaceful no matter what the challenge is. You can see the benefit of that. You see that? But peace is quietude. Is your energy, your life force is not moving. You see that? So if you don't want your life force just to be not moving. You want it to also move in a gentle, nurturing, vitalizing manner, and that is the enjoyment of the peace that you put in place when you're challenged or you lose something. You see that? So that's one of the first goals of initiation. And if you can maintain yourself peaceful and enjoying that peace no matter what the challenge is, then you will be growing through those challenges. Your mind will be expanding through those challenges. You see that? Your health will improve. Your health will be protected, and it will also improve through those challenges because the peace will heal it and protect it, and the subtle happiness, joy, which is enjoyment of peace. You see, what the Hindus call ananda, which we call hotep in the Kemetic tradition. You see that? You see, it will therefore, nurture the life force and the physiological mechanisms and your psychic power to achieve things. You see that? Suffering. Once you have mastered the skill to be peaceful and joyful in all situations, then you have eliminated suffering from your life. You see that? Okay? The Hindus made a mistake, the Buddhists made the mistake of saying that, you cannot escape suffering. So they wanted out from earth. They wanted to achieve nirvana so they don't have to come back to earth again okay? And